Jim, Victor, and Marie Pelton, the two butter sculpture artists for this year's farm show. And folks, where do the ideas come from each year?
The ideas come from, it's really a combination of what we like, but the American Dairy Association, they're the main, they're the ones who pitch us the idea. They give us the theme. And of course, out of that, we also have to deal with the Secretary of the Department of Agriculture, Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture, and they get involved too. So there's both three of us, you know, it's like a whole thing that we've got to get involved and come together with an idea that we can do and that they like, you know, and that's what it is. So, yeah.
And Marie, how do you work as a pair?
Yeah, Jim and I have been working together for many years now, so 20 years, I think, doing together and doing the work, butter sculpture and other kinds of food sculpture. So when we're doing a large size butter sculpture like this, there certainly are delegated jobs, you know, so maybe Jim is going to be working on one area of the sculpture when we're in the booth, and I'll be working on different parts of it. And also even before then, when we're doing the armatures, you know, I might do more of the metal armatures, and then he might do more of the wood, kind of, you know, putting things like that together. So we delegate the jobs, but yeah.
How, over all these years you've been working together, do you remember back to like the first time? Maybe it wasn't quite so smooth as it is now?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, when I first started working with Jim, it was a little bit more intermittent. So I think my first job was in 2000, and I did the Montgomery County Fair. It's a small little county fair in New Jersey. And so I did it like a small butter sculpture there. And then the next year, I was working with Jim at the New Mexico State Fair. And then it kind of grew from there. So there was a period of kind of getting kind of acclimated to each other and, you know, working together and what that dynamic would be like. So, you know, we're two people with different kinds of ideas about, you know, how we would like to proceed with the project. And so sometimes we get to do what we want to do individually, or sometimes it's more of a collaboration.
And Jim, you don't just do the Pennsylvania Farm Show, you do other butter sculptures. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we do New York State Fair. We do the Big E in Massachusetts. Normally we would be doing also the Tulare County Fair in California, Tulare, California. This past year we didn't. But we also did York County Fair, and we, let me see, what else do we do?
Well, we did the one, the butter sculpture it was a PR event up in New York City,
right,
in front of the Metropolitan Museum of Art. We did a butter sculpture outside on the sidewalk. It was still cool enough in the springtime to do that.
Now, outside of the butter sculpture, Jim told me that you were on To Tell the Truth recently. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I was invited to be on To Tell the Truth, and so that's shot in May in California, and it aired this past fall. So sure, it was really quite a lot of fun, you know, to do the show, and it's a show that I've seen when I was a child, you know, the original version of the show. So I was pretty familiar with the concept, and they had a panel of comedians, you know, that were there trying to guess who was the actual real butter sculptor, and they would ask us questions so that they would be able to figure out, you know, who the person was.
What keeps you going doing butter sculpture? And I also know you do chocolate sculptures as well, but what's the interest that keeps you going?
Well, we have to make a living is one thing. That's one of the reasons we do it. But also we've been doing it so long, and we enjoy it. And, you know, so we just keep going.
And Marie, what are the challenges that you get every year doing these?
Yeah, there's a lot of challenges, especially with the Pennsylvania Farm Show, because it comes, you know, usually right after the holiday or over the holidays, you know, Christmas and New Year's, and, you know, so it's a sacrifice basically almost, because, you know, we do have to work over those holidays. We're away from home, and, you know, but it's definitely a job that we like to do because we've been doing it for a long time here for the Pennsylvania Farm Show. Jim is from this area, And, it's just part of our livelihood. I mean, we've made a business out of doing the food sculptures, and we don't just do one, a year and then go back to some kind of normal job. This is what we do for a living. So, we just try to maintain our relationships with the people that we have been working with and, kind of grow our business from that.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.